Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending where you are. We want to welcome you to SKTV once again. This is SKTV coming to you live from Phoenix, Arizona. My name is Sekou Kene. As always, today we are going to be discussing politics once again, what we call political maneuvering continues in Liberia. We know there was an election uh, on the 10th of this month, about little over 2 weeks ago, and the results have been announced, and there is no clear winner as to who to become president of the Republic of Liberia. However, we do have two political parties that are supposed to be going to the second round, which is called the runoff. But there are a lot of political maneuvering going on, and this process is being trending one way. But yes, indeed, I want to encourage all of you to share the show. It's very, very, very important. We want to play this song right here about Alpha Blondie. But while we do that, we encourage all of you to share the show. All right? Very important we share the show.
Politiki mani, politiki kolombare, wanye farati, politiki kolombare. Zentala mborobola, nete politiki mani, politiki kolombare, wanye sabati, politiki kolombare. Obi febi, oti fesini, obi tanobi, obi jambasini. Vive le président, abat le président. Vive le général, abat le général. Obey bola mogo que le neda, obey bola che que le neda. Politiki mani, politiki kolombare, wanye farati, politiki kolombare. Obetere fo ki la yere sans fe, katere fo ki la jidi. Obetere fo ki la yere sans fe, katere fo ki la jidi. Obetere fo, katere fo ki la yere sans fe, katere fo ki la jidi. Video ho, Why pam 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 kawire. With yo, with yeah, with yeah. Video, video, video. Para filmar wiri. Masuga kope na neka. Para filmar video. Waye panka wiri. Madege dombo be. Madege dombo be ni pasi pasi. Politiki mani. Politiki colombare. Wanye parati. Politiki colombari. Obi baby, Oti Fessini, Obi Tanobi, Obi Jambasini. Vive le président, abat le président. Vive le général, abat le général. Obey Bola Mogo Keleneda, Obey Bola Jack Keleneda. Politiki mani. Politiki colombare, wanye farati. Politiki colombare.
So I want to say welcome once again. And to those of you who share the show, I want to say thank you. And those of you who are yet to share the show, also want to say thank you. But you have to share the show first. That is the best we can do. We don't come on, you put the blame on us. When we come on, we put the blame on you if you refuse to share the show, because we don't do all those fake things. We make sure we have regular people, real people here to form part of the conversation, wherein they can write, they can call in. Some people, they don't participate at all, but we call them the silent listener. Whatever be the case, it's important that you share the show so that when we start a conversation, we can go back. Today, we having a topic called political maneuvering. You know, for the past few days, Mr. Alexander Benedict Cummings has been the darling of the political players in Liberia. He has been the go-to man. Almost those that they said with the biggest political players in Liberia are the ones that run into the men who they supposedly say he has less than 2%. Now he has become a political marathon. Nobody wants to be left behind. I don't know whether you watch or you have seen the photo of Mr. Alexander B. Cummings and that of Honorable Alhaji Listening Kamara of ACOP. Yesterday, it was former Vice President Joseph Nyuma Boakai. It was President George Manewia. And today it was the standard bearer of ACO, Alhaji Listening Kamara. Some may ask, we can understand why President Weah went there, because he is in the second round looking for support. Somebody will also argue that, yeah, we understand Ambassador Joseph Boakai was there because he is looking for support for the second round. What about Mr. Alhaji Lusuni Kamara? Why was he there? Why is it that he's going to meet or requesting a meeting with Alexander Benedict Cummings? Why? Why Lusuni Kamara? Because somebody would say, oh, but early people are going to Mr. Cummings because they all want his support because they are running for the second round. But we cannot say the same thing about Mr. Kamara, the standard bearer of ACO. I am not sure about what you know, but according to the result announced by NEC, it seems like all of the people that are reaching out, that are requesting meeting with Mr. Cummings, all of them supposedly got more votes than Mr. Cummings. All of them. Because if you look at it, Mr. President George Weah got about 804,087 votes. Joseph Nima Boakai, the former vice president, got about 796,961 votes. Appleton Jr., Edward, whatever his name is, Appleton Jr. Edward W. GDM, he got about 40,271 votes. Mr. Lusuni Kamara, who met with Mr. Cummings today, he got 35,988 votes. Bad NEC result. So what am I driving at? Yesterday, after Ambassador Weah's meeting with Mr. Cummings, after Lusuni Kamara met Ambassador Joseph Nima Boakai meeting with Mr. Cummings yesterday, there was a competition on the social media as to who actually met Mr. Cummings, who was well received, who was taken in the living room as opposed to who were taken outside. Everybody was picking their part of the puzzle, making it to look like, okay, in fact, whoever meet with Mr. Cummings could potentially be the next president of Liberia. Why? Whoever is well received by Mr. Cummings will be acceptable by Mr. Cummings' supporters, his friends and well-wishers. And that person could potentially be the next president of Liberia. Isn't that interesting? Today, Mr. Cummings received a request, according to the information, to have a meeting with Honorable Lucini Camara, the person per NEC result that came forth. Meaning, the number 1, the number 2, and the number 4 are reaching out to number nothing. You know, for those of you who don't know, there are people who are running with speculation that there is a law, election law, that prevent a candidate from running in the next election if they fail to obtain at least 2% of the total vote cash. Per that exception, a lot of people even believe that Mr. Cummings has lost everything, that Cummings is not even qualified to run for second round. Somebody said that. I've seen that in so many places. What about those people who are running behind Mr. Cummings right now? President Weah, former Vice President Boakai, and now today it was Mr. Lucini Camara. I think this Adam Fofana, he's completely out of touch. The number they gave Mr. Cummings was actually 29,000, not 26,000, which could be maybe less than 1% of what he actually received. The Liberian people actually voted, and they voted in their numbers for Mr. Cummings. Don't fool yourself. If you stay thinking that Mr. Cummings actually received the number he received, looking at the president, the former vice president, now Mr. Lucini Camara, Alhaji Lucini Camara, the standard bearer for ACO, all running to go and have a conversation with Mr. Cummings. If you still think Mr. Cummings actually get less than 2% of the election, then you definitely need to go check yourself. Something is not okay up there. It means that you are not only dumb, but you have some psychological deficiency. Because we all know the fact. So what am I saying here? Mr. Cummings was supposed to be humiliated, was supposed to be disgraced. Mr. Cummings was communicated with the information that you are nobody. You have no stake in our electoral process. Nobody won you. You are rejected by the Liberian people. That was the message they wanted to send to him. Contrary to what actually transpired. Contrary to what and to how the Liberian people voted. But you see, God out there, God is not sleeping. God can fight your battle without you doing anything about it. The same people who said Mr. Cummings was nobody, was nothing, are the ones running behind him telling you are everything. In fact, we depend on you. In fact, with your support, we can win the election. With your endorsement, who can be the next president of Liberia. Beyond that, Mr. Lusuni Kamara, who also get less than 2%, even though his people, his supporters say they are happy because they were completely out of the political calculus in Liberia. Nobody actually, was counting them. A lot of people thought ACO was completely out of the picture. Now, why is it that ACO is reaching out? ACO's leader is reaching out to Mr. Cummings because he too saw everybody running the same direction. Now it has become a political marathon where everybody heading in the same direction. No one wants to be left behind. Mr. Cummings now the political celebrity, the kingmaker, the most valuable player in our political dispensation. See how God can work? God can work in a very mysterious way. I asked this question, I talk about this particular thing to enlighten some of you who are actually carrying on the misinformation about the law about the percentage. From our understanding, the law says any party, political party, that will receive less than 2% of the vote, total vote, and win no seat in the legislature will be unable to run in the next election, the subsequent election. Listen to me clearly, because some of you are not informed, know nothing, don't understand politics, but you'll be out there running your mouth. You're a political scientist, you know politics, you know this, you know people, you know everything. Then you are there misinforming people, giving misinformation to the Liberian people, marketing your ignorance to the Liberian people, thinking that you are doing good for yourself. So like I said, the law says any political parties or party that will get less than 2% of the total vote and win no seat in the legislature, whether the Senate or the House of Representatives, you will actually not be able to run in the next election. In this case, say for example, this time around, Mr. Cummings ran as CPP. If he was to be affected by that threshold, by that law, he could stay wrong under different party name. He could stay wrong as ANC in the future, or Liberty Party, or any other party if he wants to run. So Mr. Cummings is not limited from running. Even though he is not affected this time around, owing to the fact that Mr. Cummings in the result given by the NEC, Mr. Cummings did not win the election. They did not receive even 2%. But Mr. Cummings' party, on whose ticket he ran on, won about 6 seats in the House of Representatives. You pay attention. I hope you pay attention. Our job is to educate people. Some of those, little minds that have no clue, that kind of see this politics thing as sport, I don't be distracted by them. My job is to educate them so that they can understand. So at least when they are talking, they are speaking from information. Mr. Kumi's party got about 6 representative seats in the election result announced. Therefore, both Mr. Cummings and the CPP, if they want to run, if he wants to run, there's no restriction. He can run again, and nothing can stop him from running. Unlike Mr. Lusuni Kamara, who came today, the standard bearer for the ACO, Mr. Lusuni Kamara parties, from where things stand, did not win any seat from where it stands right now. I'm not sure what's going to happen. I think they already announced the final result from all the countries in the presidency. So should that rule affect anyone, Mr. Alhaji Lusuni Kamara and ACO should fall in that category, that they will be affected. Secondly, the man they call Apeton, the unknown man who surfaced in the middle of nowhere, right around the day of the election announcement, we started to hear about Mr. Apeton. Mr. Apeton, for our understanding, he win no seat, 0. His number were made up to confuse the Liberian people, to take everybody else down, and bring one unknown man just to discourage, disrespect, and humiliate other people that actually did well. Mr. Apeton party did not win a seat as far as we are concerned. Mr. Cummings' party won a seat, 6 representative seat. That means he passes the threshold. He passed the threshold of being able to run again if he wants to run. Because even on our show here, somebody came and wrote, "Oh, you forgot about that thing here. Mr. Cummings is not even qualified to run." So because of that, Mr. Cummings is not important. He's not going to run. No, Mr. Cummings can run if he wants to run. So this was just a little education for those political neophytes that are actually unaware of the election laws, just to inform them, to tell them that Mr. Cummings remains one of the most important political figures in Liberia, which is being justified or solidified by the number of political actors trooping to his residence. Yesterday we had 2. Today we have 1. We don't know who's coming tomorrow. And interestingly, they are the one going to him. Not only scheduling a meeting in a hotel or in a party headquarters, but they are going to his house, to his residence, to go and talk to him, to get his support. So like I was saying, President Weah went there. Everybody knows President Weah going to need his support in the second round. Similarly, Joseph Jimabaka went there. We know that Joseph Baka wants support in the second round. But it will interest you to know that ACO Standard Bearer, Mr. Lusuni Kamara, Alhaji Lusuni Kamara, going to meet with Mr. Cummings. You know what? He went there. He understands the dynamics of politics. He understood exactly what happened in this election. He also understood the fact that there will be consequences. He understood the fact that other people, other valuable players, political parties are getting together to make sure that there is a consequences, or there are consequences in this election. There will be consequences. But those who are in it just because they believe that they get certain attention, so there should be no consequences to the people who are involved in the dubious art, in the fraudulent art, they are making a mistake. Mr. Kamara, ACO chairman, came to meet with Mr. Cummings, asking him to compare notes, to work together, to know where Mr. Cummings and the CPP are leaning, to know where Mr. Cummings and the CPP are thinking of going in the second round. Who do they intend to support in the second round? Can they jointly support one party against the other? Or can they just stay out and allow the process to play itself? Could they work on something beyond this particular election? You know, all of these things we are seeing here speak about the importance of Mr. Cummings in the political fields in Liberia. ACO is a very big party, but they were underestimated. And I know they were cheated in this election. The number that they got was not enough. That it does not represent the will of the Liberian people. We know that all the presidential candidates, the number they received was just done by selection. It was done by selection. It was not the number that they actually deserved. Those numbers are not reflective of the will of the Liberian people. But people with hair on their shoulders, people with some sense in their brain, they know the fact, and they are stepping up. Otherwise, Mr. Lusuni Kamara had no reason of coming to, Mr. Commis. The people everybody would have been running to would have been what? Who? Joseph Jimambuakai and President Weah. But for Mr. Lusuni Kamara, the Standard Bearer of ACO, that was somehow placed in the 4th position per NEC despite the cheating, that came 3rd in Lofa. I think tell 4th in Lofa per their result, even though we know it was cheating involved. And look at the demographic, the constituencies he represents. They have said that ACO is not a trouble. ACO is not a trouble party. ACO is not. It does not belong to Muslim people. ACO does not belong to Mandingo people. But vast majority, predominantly of the membership of ACO are Muslim and Mandingo and Va and other people from the Muslim faith. There are other people in it that are non-Muslim as well. But predominantly, they are Mandingos and Muslim. That's why many of the political actors put that label on them. Put the label on them as Mandingo Party, just as they used to call Liberty Party as the Bassa People Party. Just as most of Southeastern thinking that CDC is their party because of George Weah. Just as Lofa people would think that our Unity Party is their party because it was funded by Olofien, Mandingo man, Edward Bien Kasseli. Lusuni Kamara should have nothing to do with Mr. Commis. If Mr. Commis was not important, all these things speak to the fact that Mr. Commis is very, very important. And people who are saying otherwise, they are either saying it because of ignorance, or they are saying it to willfully attack, disrespect, or to somehow bully the people of the CPP. But everybody in Liberia know and understand that Mr. Commis is very valuable in Liberian politics. And they know that everything we said in the past, that Mr. Commis, the CPP was part of the top 3 political parties in Liberia. We were right then, we are still right today. The CPP remains one of the top political parties in Liberia. The CPP has one of the largest support base in the Liberian politics. CPP has one of the most loyalists in the Liberian politics. And the CPP has some of the most resourceful partisans in Liberia. They know it. They know those things are fact. But what they did, they tried to discourage all of you from the start to make it look like you're not important, to make it look like you have no stake, to make it look like your standard bearer is rejected, to make it look like CPP don't matter, to humiliate you, to discourage you, to disenfranchise you, to make you feel less of a Liberian, to make you feel less important. In some instances, to make you feel like a less of a human. Because when you are disrespected and given some inhumane treatment to a certain level, it kills your spirit. It kills your courage. It discourages you to the extent that you don't want to be part of politics. You don't want to get close to politics. That's what they wanted to do. You know, as I speak to you today, I know a lot that I can say, but I can tell you for certain that the political theater, the political party, the back and forth, it's just getting started. It's just getting started. It's just getting started. Steve, welcome.
Hi, Mr. Kane. What's up?
How you doing? So today, Alhaji Lusuni Kamara, the standard bearer of ACO, visited Mr. Cummings today. I'm hearing myself. I think you need to mute yourself or take that Bluetooth off or whatever that is. So, Mr. Lusuni Kamara, the standard bearer of ACO, went to meet with Mr. Cummings today with the intent for them to compare notes. Also wanted to know where Mr. Cummings is leaning. Wanted to know what Mr. Cummings intend to do after this election. They also have some mutual agreement to work together after this election. They also discuss whether or not they support the Sensor in the second round, but they promise to work together after this election. So what I was saying, Steve, before you got here, since Mr. Cummings got less than 2%, for 3 days in a row, he's the one making the headlines in the political field. For the past 3 days, he led the group of political parties to inform NEC, to take charge, that NEC should protect and preserve the ballot papers used and unused for the purpose of administrating some forensic examination. The next day, former vice president and the current president running to his house for support. The following day, one of the most important people in the Liberian politics, one of the most important political parties, ACO, standard bearer run, also going to his house, asking for a meeting with him, asking to work together, wanting to know where he's going, who he's going to support in the second round, whether they could collectively or jointly support the same person, or if not, even if they separately, support different people, but they should work together after the election. We know that speak to the fact that Mr. Cummings is not only important in the political field of Liberia, but his political future is getting brighter by the day. What do you think, Steve?
Well, Mr. Kane, good afternoon to you. First of all, let me start off as always by greeting the Liberian people. I believe they're the most important people on earth. And I also believe the Liberian women are the most beautiful women on earth. Like I said before, and I'll say it again. Like I said, and I'll say it again. This is not mistake. And this is not coincidental. I believe I went back and read what Mr. Cummings wrote. And many people are not seeing it, but this speaks volume to the fact that Mr. Cummings seems to be, as projected, numerically insignificant, but yet and still, the Liberian people and leaders are still counting on him, are still looking up to him, more like the kingmaker or the decision maker now. So let me say this. If you think this is a joke, or you think Mr. Cummings is insignificant, or you think this is just political season and political timing, you are wrong. You are wrong. You are seeing the making and the decisive factors that are taking place. And we are not going to shy away from this moment. I said we are not going to shy away from this moment because I have openly said I would support Mr. Cummings should he decide to run. And I want to say it again. I want to be very emphatically clear on it, that I will support Mr. Cummings. I will not only support Mr. Cummings in my mouth, I will be at the forefront. Y'all get used to see me. And y'all who say I was supporting Mr. Cummings during the election, y'all who say I was supporting Mr. Cummings all the time, I was hiding behind closed door. Y'all can see y'all can see support now. Me that announcement for you. I'm in it if Mr. Cummings wants to run. If Mr. Cummings decide not to run, I will not support anybody in the Liberian political sphere. I don't have no interest of supporting anybody. Let me be very clear. For me, that the kind of person I am. Mr. Cummings run 2027, I will support him. Anybody else that come, I stay away. I watch you from distance. I will respect you. I don't get no problem with anybody. But as you see me now, I'm in my support move. The steal that you see now, I'm in my support move, and I'm in my support move. I'll leave it there.
Yes, indeed. Welcome to SKTV once again. I know why. I don't know. Maybe you were waiting for Steve to come before you can come in, but you all were sending the link the same time.
I was sleeping.
I can tell, but this time around I didn't call you to wake you up. So
no, I woke up. My daughter came in. I woke up. I came in, then I lied down a little bit. I said I'm gonna give a few minutes, let him start. There I go. But I'm good. I shared. I came on. I shared in a dose of a little.
All right, that's good. That's good. You know, I like the evening show. It kind of more relaxed, and for some reason people love it. So yeah. So my question to you, I don't know, whether you've been following everything going on social media. It seems like for the past 3 days or since the election was over, Mr. Cummings is the center of attention, or maybe we could say center of attraction. People go to him in order to be in the news. People go to him for support, for idea, for decision making. I mean, if you're going to lose an election? Aren't you want to be like a loser, like Cummings, who loses the who lost an election, and then everybody running to him as a loser? So why you think everybody going to Mr. Cummings, including the current president, the former vice president, and now ACOP standard bearer, Honorable Lusuni Kamara, who is former speaker, former finance minister, former commerce minister, who is now a standard bearer of ACO, with all the political experiences and political virtue. Joseph Boakai, 47 years in politics. George, we are current president. But yet ever running to Mr. Cummings for guardian, for support, for the future of Liberia. Why? Yes, Sydney, why? Why Mr. Cummings?
Well, thank you, Sekou. It's good to be here again, guys. If you're watching, please share. I'm kind of excited to see that the show the other night have almost got into 30,000 views. So people, whether we like it or not, are listening, and they need to listen. It is important. So it's good to be here. One thing though, you are clothed with power when you are knowledgeable, when you understand what lies beneath and what lies ahead. That's how you determine that. It speaks volume. It speaks to Mr. Cummings' position or positioning in this arena at this point. Whether we like to acknowledge it or not, I listened to you earlier when you said Mr. Cummings have diverse and strong supporter. And Mr. Cummings' supporters are resourceful, very resourceful. And they believe in him. And we give.
So you've been listening to me the whole time. You were not just coming on the show.
Okay. How we.
So you've been listening to me.
I was in and out of sleep.
You were not coming on
I'm a light sleeper. I'm a light sleeper.
Okay. Go ahead. I'm just pulling you.
So it speaks to as a people, as a nation.
Oh, it looks like she's having some problem.
This morning I saw a post from Mr. Novel.
Okay.
Hold on, I don't know. My headset is in my ear. Let me take this off.
I don't know. Is the internet or your headset kind of like delaying?
Is it better?
Much better. Yes. I think it's your internet.
I think it's you. Okay.
It's your internet.
So today I made a post that said, since the people say everyone that voted for Appiton, instead of Liberian people saying they're going to stay home, go to the poll, vote in both of the boxes if your vote was not counted, and put your vote there for CPP. In America, we call it a write-in ballot. That's how you protest. I'm overwhelmed. I've gotten calls all day, or even those who come in to insult, and they're calling. It speaks to how disingenuous we are. We are not forthcoming. If you are saying this man got less than 1% or less than 2% vote, why is the president of the Republic of Liberia going to him? Why is it that now? Do you remember when we went back and forth with Pape Boaka doing the CPP breakup doing it back and forth, saying he going to the hospital, he having this, he having that, Steve. And we were saying, and Cummings came on your show. And when you're asking, because the story was that Cummings refused to go as VP. And he said emphatically that no, people out to him. Even went to him because I remember Mr. Cummings leaving the States, going to him and taking a picture, and people were posting it all over the place. But today, he's actually able to go to Cummings' house to talk to him. All right? But I would say that since we're talking about the power that he holds at this point, they know Mr. Cummings has the numbers. They know what they did. They're very well informed of what they've done. All right? But I will say this though. Whatever decision, in my opinion, that the Liberian people make, I pray that they survive it for the next 6 years, because we'll be right here.
So one thing I want to say here is that for some people who are rating some funny things, I just want to inform you guys that Mr. Cummings' support base is one of the support base you want to have. Because in Liberia, everybody can support you, but they will not put their hand in your pocket. They want you to give it to them. Unlike Mr. Cummings'
this is a joke.
Unlike Mr. Cummings' supporters, they gave to the cause. They gave to the campaign. They put their money where their mouths are. So those are the kind of supporters you want. And not only they are committed to Mr. Cummings. So all of the people that we are angry right now, writing, don't support anybody, don't do this, don't do that. We have made, we talk to people. We have found out that the number of Cummings supporters who are saying, don't support either party, sit home. We also have the number, we're talking about, in terms of percentage. The Liberian people who support Mr. Cummings, the ones that are saying don't support either one of them, we know. The ones that are saying, well, if you are to support any of them, support Joseph Boakai. And the one that are saying, if you are support any of them, support President Weah, we already know. And Mr. Cummings is not ignorant to that fact. He is aware. He knows exactly what his people are saying, no matter whatever the case. And he is altering his people decision in his decision making, just so you know. As a matter of fact, Mr. Cummings knows exactly what his people want and what they like. He believes that his people problem, his supporters problem, those problems are Liberia's problems. And that those are problems for all Liberians. He understands that. In fact, those of you who are confused, thinking that, okay, Mr. Cummings can support Boakai because of what happened, what not happened, don't say that. You don't know nothing about politics. And those of you who think, say, oh, you know what, Mr. Cummings can never support Joe Weah because Joe Weah cheated, don't say that. This is politics. If you understood something, I'll put it on my page today. I said, politics. I said, in politics, anything is possible. Everything is possible. I know exactly why I say that. I talk to people. I talk to leaders. I talk to leaders from all the parties. I talk to leaders that are not part of those political parties. I also play my part in making some things to happen. We are all somehow connected to one group or one person or the other. We all have some leverages. We all have some, we have some power to change a lot of things. It may not be in the open, but we all have something that we can do. We can change, in the Liberian political setting. So what I'm trying to say here is that if you are a Unity Party supporter, don't just give up because of your some of the things you did. Don't give up. Continue to persuade people. That's how politics works. You can't continue to live in arrogance and expect people to walk to you to support you. No, it doesn't work like that. You don't just conclude. Don't just give up on people. You never know. Politics is different. Similarly, if you are CDC, don't give up. We will come here and say what happened and say what we want to say. But at the end of the day, you don't know how the whole game is going to play out. Political decisions are made by politicians. So whether you CDC or Unity Party, if you find yourself in the position you are in right now, second round, don't give up on anybody. Don't make derogatory comment on anybody. That's why those little picking men that are supporting Joseph Nima Boakai, that have no political stake, that don't understand anything, that think that this about Barcelona and Real Madrid, that they play making fun with it, laughing at other people, they know nothing. Please, don't hold it against them. Some of those people, they know nothing. They don't even know the ramification of their actions. They don't know what they are doing. They say, forgive them for they don't know what they are doing. So don't listen to those people. But the leaders, if you call yourself leader of any political party and you think you are too big to be humble, if you think you are too big to persuade people, if you think you are too big to reach out to people, believing that, okay, I've already crossed line with these people or this person, so I don't expect this person to come back, then where am I getting that voice? I think it was coming from the Asini's end. So if you are anywhere in leadership, whether it's Unity Party or CDC, the right thing for you to do right now, continue to make your case to the people. Even people you think that they will not support you. Reach out. It could pay you. You could benefit from it. And one last thing I wanted to make. It doesn't matter what decision Mr. Kumis will make. Some of you would think, oh, if you Kumis to go do this, Kumis supporter there, they like the Mr. Kumis supporter, they are not like that. They'll be angry, they will speak out, they will be vocal, they will say anything they want to say. But if Mr. Kumis make a decision and say, hey, my people, this is what we want to do. This is what we're supposed to do. And I'm taking this decision on your behalf, in your interest and the interest of the Liberian people. Believe me, 99.9% of Mr. Kumi's supporters will follow him. Unless those that were not with him already they were not with him, they were pretending. But 99.9% of supporters that believe in him, that trust him, that respect him, that spend their hard-earned money, that they believe in Cummings. If Cummings make that decision, he makes the decision today, believe me, whether he say I'm endorsing Joseph Boakai, they will follow him. Whether he say I'm endorsing George Weah, they will follow him. Whether he say, you know what, we are not endorsing either one of them, they are all bad, they will follow him. So if you kind of second guessing yourself as to what will happen with Cummings supporters, people are angry and they get the right to be angry. They're going to say anything they want to say right now. But when their leader speaks, they listen. I just want to say that. Back to you guys.
So, Mr. Kane, first thing first, in terms of what we are witnessing, and I'm seeing some people overlooking it, I also think this is not a time for complacency from the CPP or from Mr. Cummings. This is a time for work and vigorously making a case for his bid for the presidency in 2029. That is if he wants to run. There is no time to waste. You know, Obama said you can walk and chew gum. Mr. Cummings, I like the fact that ACO, this is a time to rally around. There is no emergency. This is the time to bring the opposition forces together, the opposition people, bring them together. Because either ways, all of the parties that were cheated fraudulently are automatically oppositions at this point. So you see, from a strategic standpoint, this is the time to start making the case. No time to waste, no time to fool around. I like the fact that he and ACO leader met. I would hope that, you know, he and Sarah Bezlo can meet. He and Moneyback can meet. I believe they've met, as evidenced by the agreement that came up. You know, for them to ask NEC to conduct a forensic. So the work starts now. Look, instead of being jittery and worrying about who he will support, who he will not support, I think his supporters, their eyes need to be on the ball. If he wants to run for 2029, no time to play. We might think it's far. That year we're just talking about 2018, and we're talking about election. So this is the time for the work to start. I believe Mr. Cummings needs to do more of these kind of engagements. Don't wait till inauguration and 16 billion come out, or someone has stolen money, billion come out. No. The groundwork needs to start now. It needs to start now. And those who are in the CPP, your focus should not be about who Kumi will support, who he will not support, and who will be president at this point. Your focus should be making the case to the Liberian people, start the work, hit the ground running, start the recruiting, the mistakes that you made, start addressing some of them. But again, I think also it's a good move that Mr. Cummings made. I read the headlines from Front Page Africa that one of Mr. Cummings's demand or recommendation in order to support anybody is the establishment of one economic crimes court. At this point, we can all deduce which one of the party is now willing to fall in line with that. We can deduce just by common sense. We don't need to go pray. We don't need to go fast. We don't need to cause say. So, I mean, I think the CPP is still vibrant. They can still make some move. This is the time now to do recruiting and get other political parties on board because there is no urgency yet now. Nobody rushing, no emergency. Start a communication, start building collaboration, start building the blocks, start bringing people together. And Mr. Cummings should use this opportunity also to assert himself as the leader of the opposition or of the face for Liberia for 2029. This is the time. No time to waste. No time to fool around. And this is why I have pledged and I'm open to support Mr. Alexander B. Cummings if he decides to run. I will support him in all capacities.
Wow. Yasini. President, welcome, my man. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
So what happened today?
Sekou.
Yeah. Yeah, yes, and go ahead. Because you were not saying something. I was trying to talk to Benjamin, but go ahead.
Let me say this to you. I see people writing and people going here and there. We as an organization, we negotiate logic. If Mr. Cummings come and say, this is what I've decided, he brings it to the table. He's in all of the chat room. He sees the interaction. He calls a meeting. We give our input. For instance, when they decided that they were going to join a group, at that time, Brunskin were like, majority of us said no. He came back with a convincing argument. We said, okay. We drop our arms and we support it with everything that we have. One thing that we say though, majority of us feel insulted. Okay. After we've worked, you can't tell me I took 3 trips or 4 to Liberia. I galvanized. I transported my people, my family, my followers to go and vote. You tell me my vote was not important. Then you turn around and come to me to tell me now I can come back and vote. All right? That's a lot that is playing out there. I see people crying. This person is buying voting card. That person is buying voting card. You have to know hundreds of thousands of people went to the poll to vote. And their vote was stolen. For them, those cards in their hand really does not have a value to them because that's what you have said in the counting of the ballots. So they can sell it for banjo. I'm not saying they should. I'm saying that's what is going on. But these people are acting up and they're coming people in boxes. They're cussing. They're denigrating. They're coming and say, if Mr. Cummings decides to support WIA, let me say this to you. If Mr. Cummings decides to support WIA is the current president. According to the vote that was just counted, he got a simple majority. If Mr. Cummings decides he wants to support Bouakai, okay, he also in the second round after the fraudulent election. That would be Mr. Cummings. One thing though, majority of us have made our position clear, and our position will be clear. Mr. Cummings is a good listener. We are going back and forth. He's listening. And one good thing, he also note that some of us have worked diligently. That was one of the reasons that I supported him, the War and Economic Crimes Court. He put that on the table. The War and Economic Crimes Court is on the table. All right? Are they going to take it? Are they going to agree to it? Because if they accept and they sign that paper, it's not business as usual. Washington will also hear it, will get a copy. Okay? It's not going to be business as usual. So whoever thinking they're going to put a signature on that paper, be careful, because I will be here. All right? We will be here and we'll watch that. So if you're actually coming to the table, as you're saying, different it, you're going to change the way things have been. You're going to stop the killing in our country. You're going to stop the looting in our country. You're going to stop the drug infestation in our country. Okay, you're going to stop the rape in the country, that you cannot declare rape as a national emergency and not do anything about it. Those are on the table. If there will be a national youth service in Liberia where our children will not be gallivanting, wherever call they're sinking and dancing behind you, then we can talk. Some of us advocacy or our journey is self-effacing. It's not self-promoting. It's because it is a vocation. So, like Steve said, Mr. Cummings is in a very good position. They made it that way. Because if you say this man didn't get a vote, why are you chasing him? Why are you going to him? What is his importance? Election is about numbers. Even those in denial, all right? Where is Apperton? Apperton is the one who got the 3rd place. Why is it not he the one that's making the news? So, I'm going to start here, Sekou. Mr. Cummings need, and let me say this, and I'm going to say it right here, as a founding member of CFL, meaning Cummings for Liberia, because before they were ANC. And then those who went and joined ANC, and a founding member of ANC Global, and a founding member of CPP also. Let me say this to all of you. Mr. Cummings, we have to start working. He have to clean house. He got to be more strategic in his approach. We can run the campaign on likeness. We have to run it on merits, who can do the job, who the people can relate to, okay, who understand different culture and blending and the diversity of what needs to happen. He would need that. So a lot of work needs to be done, like starting now. So I like to agree with Sekou and Steve.
Thank you so much, Yasin. Thank you so much. I always admire your courage and your, motivation when it comes to Liberia. You never stop to amuse me. My brother, Brazilian Monk.
What's up, guys? What's going on?
I mean, what happened? Why everybody just kind of like, engaging in this, what I call a political marathon, where nobody want to be left behind? Everybody kind of headed towards Mr. Cummings. What's going on?
Well, it's just standard operating procedure. People trying to strategically position themselves, looking at 6 years from now. That's just where it is. Everybody's doing a political calculation because there will be a price to pay based on the decision you're going to make. Mr. Cummings, I listened to his press conference today. It almost like you're taking your manifesto and giving it to Georgia and say, yeah, it's an opportunity to give yourself a legacy, but we hold your feet to the fire. You got a choice to make. I told Georgia people, if they were smart enough, when the CPP came up with their 14 bullet points manifesto, that would have been Georgia's legacy. But for him, he thought it was all about people being against him. Because everything the COP at the time recommended were meant to save Georgia government from the map of exercise. But he didn't see it that way because he came with the wrong intention to steal. I told people, the way Georgia governed from his first 90 days, it tells you the intention, the way he came to the way he perceived the Liberian presidency. That's just what it was. Mr. Cummings talked about women and youth empowerment. He talked about restructuring the constitution. He talked about the ease of doing business. He talked about decentralization. I mean, like, what more can you ask for? Georgia, there is an opportunity to save yourself. You made a mistake first. You cannot make a mistake for the second time. And it's like a man who looking at the future of Liberia with a blueprint and basically handing it to you on a silver platter and say, you know what? I defy you. Here's another opportunity. And that's exactly what that press conference was today. But it was one thing that I told from that press conference, and I will be watching over the next couple of days, the formation of the War and Economic Crimes Code. We already know one of the major players on the other side. He always making a strategic move, and I will be watching his role because, people want to make it seem like there's a binary choice between Joseph Boakai and Josh Weah. But from what I'm looking at, it's more of being directed at Georgia because he's the one in power. Everything Mr. Cummings is suggesting, he can only be the one to implement it because for the fact that he's the president right now. Joseph Boakai is not president. He's trying to be president. So if Mr. Cummings say, I'm bringing this manifesto for people to make a choice, and then before I can make my pick, I think it's more about an opportunity. Like I say, it's like you're giving Georgia a blueprint and be like, you know what, I defy you. If you really want to do something better for this country, here is another option I'm giving you. That's just how I see it. But like the other player I talk about, the guy who from says County, I think she know who I'm talking about. And the whole economic and war crimes code because he's always trying to save himself. So I won't be surprised if he go.
Monk, I come from two countries.
Yeah, but I'm talking about your big country, the Nima country. I'm talking about the guy that. The other guy, the guy who is always against war crimes code, he will always profess that he wanted, but deep down he always make moves. So I will be watching his decision over the next couple of weeks and see because I know he can flip. I know there's a possibility of he flipping because first of all, he's not on the ballot this time around. He never ran for the presidency. He just got re-elected for 27 years now because it's like a third term, 9 years, 27 years. So I know there will be something major that will be happening. I know he calculating that move because look, Sekou, we can all sugarcoat this thing all we want. The most we can do is to validate the election process. And that validation will come after. It won't come before. For the mere fact, like I told you yesterday, I don't know if Georgia will try to delegitimize his own government because that's exactly what will happen if you do a forensic audit and if they were caught in that forensic audit, it means that you are just delegitimizing. So they will drag it as much as possible. But until then, they are the one that's in power. So looking at this whole mathematical calculation is up to Mr. Cummings. Like we said, politics cannot be about emotion. It's calculus.
Thank you. So something happened today. You know, most of our fans and supporters were concerned about if Mr. Cummings and the opposition political parties are serious about this whole forensic audit, how are they going to make a decision, thereby legitimizing the election or somehow validating the election, but at the same time having the forensic thing going on? So what I learned today is that the intent of the forensic audit is beyond this election.
For sure.
I'm told that it is not meant purposely to change the outcome of the election, but they want it to serve as deterrent to stop the recurrence of what happened, to make sure that it will be used to change. That's why if you listen to Mr. Cummings' speech today, he talked about, fixing our electoral,
electoral
body,
laws. Yeah.
and reforming the our electoral laws and the
Even
mechanism
the Constitution.
as a whole, and even talk about working to change our constitution, right?
Constitutional reform. Yeah.
Constitutional reform, and then he talked about our War and Economic Crimes Code. So now we were told that legally they have no reason, they have no power to stop the electoral process right now because they have nothing to actually prove in court. However, since the intent is to make sure that they get to the bottom of this whole thing, they want to make sure the process go through. Everybody participate, do whatever you got to do. However, in the end, the reason why they don't want to put injunction or try to do anything because they have no facts yet. But if they allow the process to go through, if the investigation proves nothing, so be it. The process is okay. But if the investigation proves otherwise, even in as much as decision have been made at that time, that will be considered as mistake done by everybody, that the process was not done properly, it was not done legally at that point. Liberian will not have the option to reform our electoral process, but also the Liberian people they will have the option to decide this election or this government was brought in through
a fraudulent process. Legal process.
Should we stay with this government, or should we all collectively as Liberians say, you know what, to hell with this election, it doesn't reflect the way of the people, so we don't accept it, we want interim government, we want to do this. That would be up to the Liberian people. But what he's trying to do, he and other people, they are trying to help the Liberian people get to the bottom as to what really happened without making it look like they are the sole loser. They don't want to destroy the election or the electoral process. They don't want to, change the outcome of the election using money, using the law. They are so loser. They are so angry. They don't want to do something. As opposed to doing it for the Liberian, allowing the process to go through, but doing it for the Liberian people, which will serve as deterrent that can be also used as a vehicle to change a lot of things in the country, including the doing electoral reform. And that makes a lot of sense to me, Brazil. What do you think?
Sekou, if our people could just pay attention, they will know their ally from their enemy. Mr. Cummings has proven beyond all reasonable doubt that he got a vision for that country. Yeah. Because his decision is never short-term, and he always never tend to benefit himself but everybody. But unfortunately, we're from a different societies on this planet. Look, Sekou, can you imagine a man that is pushing that we even audit lawmakers?
Yeah.
Not only constitution, our constitution is outdated. There are a lot of stringent laws that we have in Liberia that are outdated. You cannot apply them today, and we need to reform it. So whether it's constitutional reform, whether it's electoral reform, whether it's about auditing our lawmakers, whether it's about women empowerment by putting certain amount of women, because women tend to be less corrupt as compared to men. And one of the model people use in Rwanda. Rwanda, most of their ministry is occupied by women because there is a scientific study that was done that said women tend to be less corrupt and more bureaucratic than men. That's why you go to most of the agencies or ministries in Rwanda, they are all women. Look, if our people can just look at this guy for who he is, it will be an easy decision to make. But our problem is no. It's all about it now. It's all about political leader. It's all about tribal land. That's just where it is. Because, Sekou, if a man was to come and give you an interview and give you a whole laundry list of things that will benefit the country, even if he tend not to be benefited from it, what does it tell you? We saw it again with the CPP. All the way people try to destroy the CPP, guys say, you know what? I'm a man. I believe in institution. I will hold this particular institution until we can get to where we need to get. Whether I benefit or not, let's go through the process. But no, our people like quick fixes, and that's where the problem is. But for me, I tell people, I could care less about the number of votes Mr. Cummings will get in any election. I will do it 1,000 times without skipping a beat because I know his intention. You can fake people sometimes, but you can't fool people all the time. This man has proven it over and over again that he got something for this country to offer, and we have seen it. We have lived it, and everybody, whether you're Sedition, whether you're Unity Party, whether you're from the CPP, we have all seen it. And today, again, was just another testament that if you want to transform this country, you got to think long term, and it cannot be a quick fix. And this is another, like I said, this is another opportunity. If I was a judge, I would scrap everything I got on plane. If I would be the president for the second term, I would adopt almost everything that this man listed today because it would be like a success for the entire country. But we will see. It's not impossible, but we will see what happens when it comes to the compromise and how to move forward. But like I said, man,
let's hear from Steve.
Well, I think this is one of the reasons I would support Mr. Cummings because of the long-term benefits that he wants to bring. We are very short-sighted. We like temporary fixes. We like to put bandages on wounds as opposed to addressing the wound itself. And sometimes the way Liberia is, in most cases, that's not what's required at this time, to be very honest. If we want to fix or change Liberia, we have to start from these intentional issues and not just the wishy-washy things. We have to be very deliberate about what we want. And we have to make that decision. And I say this to say, somebody asked me the other time, for example, they got vexed with me, a workmate. She said, well, that's being unprofessional. You don't support homosexuality. I said, because you got no long-term benefit. I don't waste my time, let's invest in long-term benefits. You know what I mean? It has no long-term benefit. So I don't. So all these temporary fixes wouldn't benefit us. We'll be running in cycles. Like Sarah said, Mr. Cummings is not only pragmatic, Mr. Cummings knows how to fix things and leave it away. Today I was reading and I stumbled upon something that was very interesting. Even the CEO of Coca-Cola, can you imagine long after Mr. Cummings has left, maybe some of you can look it up. The CEO of Coca-Cola They are still reaping some of the benefit and some of the work that were put in place. Let me tell you something. This is what legacy is about. When you can do things that generations and other people will come and benefit from it, that's legacy. That's not something when I say, oh, the man go and he do the one he made one. No. Legacy is when people can benefit from what you have done, when it can make a difference. Martin Luther King, I don't know about Martin Luther King, but I'm benefiting today from the sacrifices he has made. I am. I'm benefiting from the sacrifices Rosa Parks made. I am. This is legacy. That's not legacy where you go and steal and you put in your pocket and you go that way. That's not legacy where you go and take small money behind closed door and you show your mom because they're doing wrong that will hurt your people. That's not legacy there. That's not legacy. And we'll say some of these things, you think we hate certain people or whatever it is. I challenge you. I want to challenge you, the Joseph Boakai people. Show me Joseph Boakai legacy. I will support him tomorrow. You think we just passing around throwing support or wanting to support because, oh, you know, let's rescue that one. Let's save this one. Let's save that one. Even the Prince Johnson, they can talk about what is Prince Johnson's legacy? Tell me Prince Johnson's legacy to the Nima people. When Prince Johnson arrested Doe, did he ask Doe why Doe killed the children in Nima? And he asked Doe for the Labrampo money? So you think stupid? Y'all want to tell us that Prince Johnson that Nima point was fighting for? Because you're for that on your head, and I'm Nima point was fighting for. Oh, you want to tell me that Joseph Boakai was in support of my people in Lofa till today? Up till today. When you go Lofa, you got to take car to pass to go Sierra Leone. Your thing was stupid. Eh? Your reality was stupid. Eh? Your thing was stupid in that country. Eh? Your reality was stupid. Your who's the sedition and who follow Jowia? Oh, Jowia get legacy. How does Jowia legacy benefit you? Tell me. Ain't Jowia some praying in America yet? Jowia is set for life. What are you supporting? You're not supporting yourself for life. What is the legacy? How does your legacy benefit us as Liberians? What time you now go somewhere before you say, oh, and you know, Jowia, and I know Jowia, where? And benefit you? Tell me. So you see, this, look, let me tell you something. The life that we live, if you now do something to benefit humanity, you are wasting your time. You are waste on this earth. You are a waste product. You got to do something to benefit humanity. If you can benefit humanity, then don't act to something that will destroy humanity. And if we say we love Liberia, some of you, I see you in your 40s, I see you in your 50s, very disappointing, discouraging, and embarrassing. You are still passing around talking about you want to save Liberia, and you said that Joseph Boakai will save Liberia. Are you serious? You fought out on your head? Joseph Boakai looks like somebody will save Liberia? You're not serious for life. You are not serious for life. I'm saying it today. You won't get there. Who told you say I get time for that? Your thing where you be passing the wrong way? Who really told you I care for that thing? The people are not ready. We are talking about somebody who is setting a path, setting a role, so that today or tomorrow all can benefit from it. And then we pass it around and say this is a joke. This is not a joking thing. We're discussing legacy here. So y'all won't support who won't support your business. The only thing I'm saying, y'all leave other people who don't want to support any one of them, you don't get a hacker. I see some people writing on Facebook, and what the purpose are going to meet Cummings, and they put just shake hand, and Cummings say, to support Boakai, and Cummings, why y'all say your birthright, and you think that everybody can say the birthright? People got to think through things. And even if you want somebody to support you, the way you go about it speaks volume. Who owe your support? Who owe your support? Nobody owe anybody support in our country. Let me say it today. Nobody owe anybody support. It's not, nobody owe anybody support. So if people don't want to support you, the way you go about it, it can change people. Man, like Sekou say, I still see some of the minions there on Facebook. You're cussing people, attacking people, making it the Lord there to say everybody's going to go support one point of person. The only people so far say I've seen a little discipline and respectful in the request to support our citizens. Let me talk in a much that I don't support Jowia are the only people that I see that have been a little appealing. But the United Party people are making the law and say, everybody take trouble. You must fall in line. Yeah. They're making the law, they say they're entitled to be supported and the other person must support it. You're falling on your head.
Sekou, let me just follow over what Steve said. Today, there is an insider from United Party, I would say one of the stalwarts in our party. When Mr. Cummings got done with the interview, I didn't watch it first. He called me. I was still lying down because I was up all night reading. He said, Sarah, this guy, what's happening to this guy? Like, what are you talking about? He said, oh, just go online and listen to Mr. Cummings' press conference, how I went to watch the replay. So he called back later. He said, but that guy got a lot of great idea. I said, no, but he's been saying it forever. You just don't pay attention because you're so stuck with your party. This is nothing new. I said, when I listened to it, I made a list. I said, but everything that guy is literally saying here, it got nothing to do with politics. It doesn't benefit the CPP. It doesn't benefit Joseph Boaga. It benefits Liberia. And when you really take a deep look at it from the list of stuff he presented today, they are all business friendly. He talked about the simplification of the tax code. You know, the first from my rental. You know, when WikiLeaks dumped the information on the rest of the world, people talk about for political reasons. I said, no, WikiLeaks are only trying to expose all the criminals around the world, from America to Asia, throughout the world. WikiLeaks is now a political party or institution. They are a group of hackers who always expose criminals. When you are a criminal, WikiLeaks exposes
whistleblower.
A whistleblower. They do investigative journalism by using technology to expose criminals. WikiLeaks dumped a document called the Paris paper and the Panama paper. Do you know Liberia is listed as a shell company where major corporations do their overseas bidding and they had their access to avoid paying taxes in the Western world? Because in the Western world, taxes are very high. So you go to places like the Seychelles, the Cayman Islands, you know where the economy is based on? Shell corporation. Because if you don't want to pay 28% of your taxes in America, you could come to a place like Liberia, we offer you 7 to 8%, and who benefit? Liberia benefit. There were 6,000 illegal corporations that did business in Liberia, and not a single person today can tell where those funds have been going to. And when Mr. Cummings talk about simplifying the task, I say, oh my God, this guy bringing a lot of ideas, but my people just cannot get it. They won't see it. Another thing he talk about, judicial reform, because when investors come into your country, they want to make sure that money is protected. They want laws on the book that will guarantee them that security. Look, Sekou, it's just hard to explain, but we hope one day.
You know what? They were saying that because you're saying this thing, I have the video loaded here. Let's listen to it.
Yes.
Those who don't listen.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you to play it, but Sekou.
Yeah.
Sekou, start from
It's 10 minutes.
Yeah, 10 minutes, but start from like 4.5. Because the rest of them just said in the tune. Start from 4.5.
Okay, let me see here. I think we can just play it.
Well, that wife getting you all of that also when you something that you on your own.
What kind of man want to bring flower between? Let me do that.
I just reminding you, sorry.
I will do exactly what she said. This Steve guy is a troublemaker. I told you, say don't trust Steve. You're trying to create a problem here. You say 4.5, right?
Start from there. You can start from there. Mm-hmm.
Start from here?
Yeah, you can start from there. That's fine. It's not long. It's about
like
5-6
minutes
more. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Final decision as to who to support. The CPP team is chaired by Councillor Charlene Ambrosky, who is joined by a vice chair of the Liberty Party, 2 leaders of the Alternative National Congress, and the head of our campaign. These discussions are very, very important to us and to the Liberian people. We promised the Liberian people that we would work to change the system to benefit all Liberians, to change the system to benefit all Liberians. Although the announced results, which we are investigating, do not give us the power to directly drive the real change agenda, we know that with our commitments to systemic change in how we have repeatedly governed ourselves, we would simply play musical chairs with leaders only to keep doing the same things over and over without any improvements to the lives of our people or how we should be managing ourselves. We refuse to be a partner in keeping our people poor, our nation divided, and our governing system corrupt. We refuse to be a partner in keeping our people poor, our nation divided, and our governing system corrupt.
Yeah, he said that twice.
Therefore, we have asked our team to place the following items on the agenda for discussions with the 2 parties. In no particular order, they include but may not be limited to commitment to gender equality. We must prioritize the passage of the minimum 30% law for women participation and membership in the legislature. We must also seek the appointment of women to the cabinet with a view to achieving at least 40% inclusion of women in the cabinet. Commitment to establish a national youth service program to address improving social cohesion, empowerment, employability, and civic duties of our youth. Commitment to provide preferential loans and business development support programs to Liberian entrepreneurs, especially with focus on women and youth. Commitment to establish a war and economic crime support. We must end the culture of impunity in our country and seriously seek to reconcile and unite our people under the rule of law. Commitment to undertake a review of the Liberian Constitution with a view towards strengthening democratic governance and the unity of Liberians under the law. Commitment to judicial reform. We must improve access and affordability to justice, seek a review of lengthy litigations merely on procedural grounds, establish a claims court, and take steps to improve and strengthen the independence of the judiciary, as well as the capacity of investigatory agencies. Commitment to decentralized public administration. We will not sustainably develop Liberia until we ensure the provision of basic service delivery to Liberians across Liberia. Monrovia is not Liberia. Commitment to continuous audits with a view toward implementing recommendations therein, as well as the strengthening of internal audit systems across ministries, agencies, and public institutions, enforcing the declaration of assets, and auditing the legislature. Commitment to simplify the tax code and rules and regulations for establishing businesses. To make it business friendly, we must make Liberia business friendly and accommodating to Liberian entrepreneurs. We make no apologies that Liberians must disproportionately benefit from their country. Commitment to end drug peddling and trafficking. Nothing is threatening Liberia's future more than the drug epidemic. Commitment to electoral reform to avoid the repeat of electoral fraud. Commitment to religious tolerance to ensure an inclusive Liberia. In summary, we want our change agenda to drive our decision. We therefore request that the parties who seek our support in the second round of elections commit to our vision for a better Liberia, and our agenda for real change, and to sign with the Liberian people that they will commit to fundamentally changing politics as usual for the benefit of all Liberians. May God continue to bless our nation, and may Liberians be peaceful as they go to this runoff, and may God bless you in our country. I thank you.
Wow.
What,
Wow.
You know,
what in here are politics? What in
Nothing.
here are supposed to get vest on? What in the thing here that somebody want to take power from somebody or to overthrow somebody? This thing is simply saying, let me help you so that you can be a better president.
That's just what
yes.
it is.
So exactly that's something I was about to say. I think this speaks volume about who Mr. Cummings is, especially when it comes to being open-minded and being there for Liberia. Because somebody will say, well, these are good ideas. These are best thing for Liberia. I don't want to share it with my opponents. Let me keep it to myself. When I take over Liberia, I will implement these things for us to have a better Liberia under the Commission presidency. But the fact that the guy is giving you these tools to change the country, to make the country a better country under your leadership, not under his leadership, that speaks to the fact that he is actually in it for Liberia, but not himself. And I think people should actually look at it beyond politics. They should look at it beyond partisanship to think that this guy is just a different human being, and a good human being for that matter. Jason, what's your take? Is Jason, are you up?
You know I'm going to be prejudiced, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know I'm going to be prejudiced, right?
That's okay.
You know I'm going to be prejudiced. Listen, this is where we saw in 2014 when we decided to petition Mr. Cummings. And that's why I'm still here. All right. A leader, a good leader leaves a legacy, that Steve said. And a good leader projects the future, not just the now. The future tune is set with what we do now, how we lay out our foundation. You see, the reason that the American Constitution is still living and breathing, the crafter of that Constitution projected the future. That's why the system is set up. No matter what shock that hits it, it still finds a way to balance. I think Monk talked about it the other night. It does not matter who comes in. It does not matter who goes out. The system works. Okay? The system works. Now, we hear about Mr. Cummings. Those were things that Mr. Cummings set forth that he was looking to do. And this is not Mr. Cummings' first time. If you all remember when Mr. Weah first took over and they had that economic summit, Mr. Cummings said, I think it was 10 bullet or 8 bullet points, how to revive our economy, what needed to happen with the commerce, interstate, international market, our own local market. He went and gave those recommendations. And in fact, at the time, people say, when the man know that he go sell sugar water. Okay. Yeah. Now we're here. We are here. Let me say one thing that I really need to amplify, and it's recommended in the TRC report, that our Constitution, there's a reform. If you go to majority of the country that have succeeded after a war, be it civil war or cross-cultural international war. If you go to Japan, after World War II, Japan used to be a monarch. They keep the monarchy as a ceremonial position, but they changed the constitution, right? America reworked the constitution. Bosnia, let me go to Rwanda, which Monk used as an example because that's the closest to all.
Yeah, that's the closest. They're the champion for Africa,
Kenya,
right?
Okay. Yes. Kenya, when they got their independence, and they will continue to do reforms, and they're always advocating. So Liberian constitution is a unitary state. We in government, teaching government, we say A unitary is the daughter of dictatorship. Because it's a unitary state, it gives the power. It makes the president imperial presidency. All right. So that particular constitution have been the issue from the day it was ascribed to us that we have been using it. And that constitution is the reason, one of the reasons that we went to war. You have a constitution where say when somebody is in power, they steal, they leave, you can't prosecute them.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's bad.
You have a constitution that says certain departments supposed to perform certain tasks. They don't do the tasks and nothing happens. All right? Exactly. So those who took over the UP-led government that was unelected after the election, they had the responsibility to redirect the nation, to create a new culture of the nation. They did not. Most of them were busy stealing the billions of dollars that came in. Okay? Now, we talk about democracy. Democracy does not flourish when the people that's supposed to make the decision cannot process the information. I travel many counties, many countryside and villages. Most of our people can't read. They make education so expensive so as to control our people, give them rights, and then they go vote for them. And today we see today that they went ahead and I'm going to come right by whatever I say, that this election is fraudulent, is rigged. But what is good about Mr. Cummings' speech today is he came out very strong. He came out saying, we are here. How do we fix the future? This is my roadmap to the future. This is what my team have gathered together. This is what we were working on. Our children must be prioritized. Our women, which is 50+% of our population, should participate. You cannot discriminate against half of your population and anticipate that you are going to prosper, because that's another resource center. Majority of the homes in Liberia, okay, they're supported by women, petty businesses, getting on the truck. That's why when you see accident happen on the highway, the women are going in the interior to bring food, to bring this, to bring that, to be able to support their children. All right. So he said we must look at women, and based on and data and statistics, where women reign or where women are in higher offices, one woman can have 5 boyfriends. In Liberia, one man get 20 girlfriends. Okay. So if most of the women that will go in the government or that there will be responsible women, I'm just telling you. But the likelihood, even if they stole, is going to be to where it is now. So we need to bring everybody on the table to make those decisions. So I think Mr. Cummings was strong today, and we will see again who is going to accept this, who will say, this is not about pride. This is not about you. This is about how the nation forged ahead. This is about how the young people who should be the future of the nation should be treated, how we should position them to be good leaders. And this is what this is about. And I thought that was a powerful speech, in my opinion.
Wow. And that was a powerful, commentary as well. You did great. And I really, really admire it. So Brazilian Monk, what we were saying earlier, when after the election, we talk about how people are going to be graded, how they're going to be going to each other, for job, for this, for that. And we said the person that will make sense, and there are people that should respect their decision. Let's look at people who will pull abroad first, who will not focus on job for them or for their surrounding, who will not focus on getting money to enrich themselves, who will not focus on their personal egos, but a person that will really speak and present a brighter future for Liberia. If you are a supporter of the CPP or ANC or Liberty Party, and Mr. Cummings is your leader, Brazilian Monk, if these things that as outlined in the speech, if these things are accepted by any party and signed this, and Mr. Cummings and the CPP endorsed that party based on that agreement, will you not, as a supporter of Cummings, will you not follow him?
I will have to follow him, and I will make another appeal that he should give the thing another shot, because sometimes you don't have to tell people, you need to show them. People believe in action than what you tell them. You know, he laying a new marker for Liberian politics. Mr. Cummings is from a he's from a well-grilled system, so he more institutional. He more of a system builder because he understands that people fail and system works. When you put the real system in place, it doesn't matter who you appoint to a position, they will get a job done. Sekou, why do you think they say America is a land of diversity? Somebody can come from India. You can look at the American government, look at someone from Pakistan and meeting, or how they call it, secretary for the Department of Transport and all that, because they understand once the system in place, it doesn't matter who occupy the job. They will go by the system, and that's what the guy is trying to do. Whether it's judicial reforms, constitutional reform, whether it's auditing lawmakers, whether it's simplifying the tax code, it's so easy. Look, Sekou, the only difference when you study Western civilization or Western democracy, the only thing that separates the West from any part of the world is system, institution, and system building. That is why countries like America have been going 200 years of war, they still remain intact. And everybody trying to adopt this system, whether it's Ghana, whether it's the Rwanda, whether it's the Ethiopia. I tell people, I say, look, the war is a business war. We are not playing the Asian day politics. You got to come with business acumen to government these days to survive. That is why if you look at countries in Africa that are doing better economically, look at the background of their leaders. They are more kind of a business, kind of a friendly as compared to your olden day 1960, 1970 politician. No, we are living in modern times. We are living in a different era of human history. You need to see the world from a business standpoint in a win-win situation. I tell people, Sekou, I'll take you anywhere in the world. I put Cummings and Obwaka on the ballot. It won't even be a competition. Looking at their resume, their record, anywhere on the planet, the only place or Joseph Boakai can be taken what Cummings is only in Liberia, because no country on the planet will look at a man like Cummings, looking at his background and what he offered, and pick a Joseph Boakai over him. But unfortunately, like I always say, this is Liberia. It's a strange country. It's a whole different set of animal we are dealing with. So I will make that appeal, Mr. Cummings. If you really want to see this thing come to fruition, you got to play some hardball, and we will try to appeal to you to get the thing one more shot, because maybe, and just maybe, you could be the one to set a new trajectory for Liberia going into the future. Because if you can implement even half of what you listed, the country will still be in a better shape. I'm even talking about all, but just half of them, we will be in a better place, and then we can take it from there. And what he always said, you need to put the country on a trajectory. It means that Mr. Cummings has all the answers to Liberia's problem, but you need to start from somewhere before you can start pushing this country forward. And that's why we are struggling on. We cannot get this country set on the right foot in order to push it forward. No, we need to start from somewhere, and that's why he keep offering. If people can just pay attention, that will be it.
I wanted to say something.
Can I please come in and then I'll go to sleep?
Yeah, but I want to say something while you're
Okay, go ahead.
I want to say something.
I wanted to say something and then I can go to sleep.
You're not running away yet. Just give her a few minutes.
It's almost 12 o'clock.
I know.
No, you got 10, 18.
Go ahead.
11, 18 to you.
Okay. Steve, Monk,
Thank
and
you.
I want you guys to pay attention to something I'm about to say, and this is not in any way that I'm trying to tell Mr. Cummings who to support. But I'm just here to set the record straight and to debunk some of the myths, some of the misinformation and diabolical lies being perpetuated by some of our friends from the Unity Party. I'm going to be very, very clear, very, very direct. Those who are saying or giving us a reason for Mr. Cummings to support Joseph Boakai, discounting all these good things that he may talk about, but you're not seeing none of those as a reason to use those things as a yardstick to give Mr. Cummings his support. But yet you are here saying, Mr. Cummings should respect his word. He should support Boakai because he said he will support opposition. Since when respecting your words, respecting agreement, being an honorable person becomes a yardstick for the people of the Unity Party and Joseph Boakai? Since when? How many friends do you know of Joseph Nima Boakai? How many old friends, professional friends? How many of them? How many people have come out to say that Joseph Boakai have betrayed them? How many of them? The Joseph Boakai actually kept his commitment, his signature, when he signed to stay with the CPP, no matter what. But he actually respect his word. Did Joseph Boakai respect his word when he said he didn't know Cummings? Somebody that helped you in the past, financially, somebody that you run to, and the person help you, and you come in and testify against that person in court. Is that what you call respecting your word? Is that what you call virtue? Is that what you call integrity? Did Joseph Boakai respect his word when he told the Liberian people after taking the leadership of CPP? He said he would do everything and anything to preserve and protect the CPP for the Liberian people. Did Joseph Boakai respect his word when he went and stood up and lied to the Liberian people and lied on members of the CPP, saying that we have agreed that everybody should go pathway, when that was not even the case? Did Joseph Boakai actually respected his word? Are you actually driven by people who respect their words? Are you guys driven by morality? Are you guys supporting Joseph Boakai based on moral, based on virtue, based on respect for his word? You guys have 1 million excuses to replace or to cover your lies. So if you want to support of Cummings, say something else. But the whole idea of respect his word, trying to bully somebody to submission, trying to bully somebody to supporting you, it's not going to work because we still have some smart people around. Not everybody just stupid or dumb like some of you. We are not strangers. We know exactly what happened right before our eyes just yesterday. So Joseph Boakai, you want to support him because you believe in him. You want to support him because you are a Unity Party person. Or you don't believe in George Weah, you want to support Boakai, that's fine. But when it comes to morality, when it comes to integrity, when it comes to value, when it comes to honesty, that's not part of the Joseph Boakai and his team. That's not part of their DNA. It's not part of their record. So you cannot run on that. Running your mouth back, Cummings should support Boakai because he must keep his word. What you have to do with keeping word? Do you have you care about somebody keeping their word? If you were somebody that can keep your word and you respect somebody for keeping their word, you will not be with Joseph Boakai. But you're a bunch of hypocrites, bunch of criminals, always pretend to be something that you are not. And that's why some of others that have spoken truth to power, people who continue to speak truth to power, you don't like them. Even after the election, even after you think that you're winning, even after you think that you still have support, you still seeking people's support, you still attacking some of us because you know we will not stay back supinely and cover your lies and deception. You don't like Liberia. I'm not endorsing George Weah either. We have said here, both you and George Weah are bad for Liberia. You are no better than Liberia. I mean, and I believe putting the presidency aside, those who are running for president, putting them aside, when you look at their supporters, CDCN are 100% better than Unity Party supporters. Because Unity Party supporters are a bunch of bullies, bunch of arrogance, and bunch of ignoramus that will stop at nothing to insult people, to disrespect people, everywhere and anywhere. Even in their attempt to win your support, they still come in arrogance and disrespect and deceit. So I got no respect for some of you guys. I just wanted to set that record straight. Let the people hear it. We are muted. We are waiting to see where the Liberian people want to go. And in the end, we will set the record straight every minute, every second, and we'll draw a clear contrast. We'll point to the flaws of Joseph Nima Boakai and that of President Weah, and Liberian people will make their final decision. But to come here and act like Joseph Boakai is some kind of injured, Mr. Kumi will keep a word, as if to say some of you are driven by morality. You are not. You have no moral compass. Zero. Absolutely zero. I just wanted to say that. I'm sorry for taking all of you guys' time, but I just wanted to say this.
No, that's it. I mean,
You said
that's
it,
just that's
so
just
let
the
me
case.
say it.
Well, you can be
So,
speaking to them, whatever. Me that one me and then we can agree.
So, okay.
Go ahead, my Oma. Please go ahead.
Sekou, quite frankly, I'm glad you said that. But let's set the record straight. When Mr. Cummings made that pronouncement, the first pronouncement was made when he was asked on 50-50. If they go to the primaries, that's doing the CPP primaries. If he did not make it, will he support whoever make it? He said yes. We all agree. Those that support Mr. Cummings. We will put our resources, our time behind whoever the CPP becomes the CPP Steno Bureau. The second one was asked after the CPP had broken up. He said it was contingent on a free and fair election. All right? Now, we know to keep our words. We know UP don't know how to keep their words. We know Boakai have never kept his word. Okay? And I can talk about Boakai because I've dealt with him personally on the family level and also. All right? Boakai knows Mr. Cummings. You people have that video. I brought that video up because I was facilitating that particular tour here in Georgia, where he reached out to Mr. Cummings because he knew Mr. Cummings could pay the money, all right, and had the clout to do so. But 7 years later, he said he didn't know him. He signed a contract, which was an agreement with the CPP, and they agreed to pay dues monthly. He never did. But every time a position came out, they bully everybody else. It was their position in the government. All right. So and today they've tried. They're all on go on my post that I made today. They're insulting and carrying on. In this season, in this time, on this journey, seditionists are trying. They are trying their best to be civil, to be respectful. But UPNs think they're entitled. They're rude. Majority of them are rude, disrespectful, entitled, condescending, okay? And think they're the only one knowing where the bathroom is, or they're the only one who have mouths. Let me say this, and I'm going to send this message out. My work is 40 years in the making. 4 years ago, almost 3 years ago, 2020, the United States President office reached out to me. Steve knows that. Sekou knows that. Jesse Jala was in the chat room when they created the room and put me in there. Thomas Asumana was in there. All of us were advocating. Those were the people that I believed in at the time. I took a position. Some Liberian people would have been on news. Kende Ovin went there based on my work. If you think I don't have a voice, don't come on my post. If you think Mr. Cummings does not have followers and he got less than 1%, why are you worried? Why are you insulting him?
Yeah, I know, right?
Why are you over the place? Okay. So we are telling you, here is a roadmap. We're telling you contingent on here, what we're giving you, we will support you. But again, let me amplify and re-emphasize. When you sign that paper, copy will get to those who support us around the world. And you will keep those words. Okay? You will bring the War and Economic Crime Squad. You will do a selected service for the youth. You will agree to do 40% women in the cabinet. I'm talking about president have to sleep with you or minister have to sleep with you before you get appointed, because that is the MO. All right. We're saying based on merit, and make sure that you can give them a position with time and respect and equal pay for their work. All right. Now, so Sekou, what you just said was very powerful. You are coming here. We're going to election. Listen, if you ask me, UP is very bad for Liberia, especially this bunch of UP who they came to power, they stole. Majority of them who coming back now are people who they gave scholarship to when around the world. Most of them are all over here in China and in America. They can't work. They don't want to do work here, so they want to go back to Liberia and play big shot. They're already lining up, and they think they're entitled because some of them returned to Liberia when their time was ending and they didn't get to stay. So now they're going and they feel entitled. Now, I would say evil is evil. There's no lesser evil here. Under the UP-led government, drugs came into the country. Where the guy named, who was the police director, Massaquoi? Chris Massaquoi. Chris Massaquoi then were bringing drugs into the country, okay? And in fact, at the turn of their regime is when Baron Brown was murdered. Chris Massaquoi, who was the police director, okay, that was turning over. Carl was the one that journalists were taking in and trashed in front of his mother's house. He was not prosecuted. He was not investigated because they play God. All right. So both parties are bad for Liberia. What we are saying is, if we must take a position, for me, I'm an advocate for War and Economic Crime Squad. I'm an advocate for women and children and youth. Except those, sign up there. Then we'll decide we want to support you. That's it. So don't come here about keeping your words. The election is fraud. The election is not free and fair. I say I voted. My vote is not counted. I say over 15,000 people are no voted. Okay? Their vote were not counted. And we are telling you it's fraud. And Mr. Cummings acknowledged it the first time he spoke, and he acknowledged it today. It's fraud. So you want you to keep his word? Keep his word on what?
Yeah, but I mean, somebody who can ask for you, somebody keeping their word, if you are driven by morality, to say the person you be following, that person moral compass is so straight, is so, to the point. The person you following is the most deceptive person in the world. That lie about everything,
Exactly.
everything he says, everything he touches dies.
Sekou, when you
Including the
are a leader, right?
Yeah.
They got leaders, they got different
Yeah.
characteristics of leader. They got people who are transactional in their leadership. They got people who are pace setter, people who set the tone for other people to follow. If you analyze Unity Party, it just tells you the leadership between Madam Sirleaf and
We
Joseph.
call them transformational leaders.
The best of Unity Party is the Madam Sirleaf wing of that party. The worst of Unity Party, that's why they all gravitate towards Joseph Nyeman Boakai. You saw it with the code of the CPP. You saw it from 2017 election, the position that he took. You can just tell. People let it talk about the man got experience. Like, my brothers, experience is different from leadership. Experience the length of time you spend on a job. Leadership comes with certain tendencies, certain characteristics. They are not the same. Joseph Boakai is not a leader in as much as I hate George Weah. And he keeps showing it over and over again. You see, Mr. Cummings, in as much as he's not going to be in the second round, he's still pushing an agenda for the country. But tell me, Unity Party agenda, that if you are not supporting Joseph Boakai, it means you are anti-Liberia. Because for them, they think it's a winning argument. For them, it's just about power. So when you give an option between George Weah and Boakai and tell them why you think that this guy would be better than others, they say, no, you got to be anti-Liberia. We just have to take him out. So that way, you cannot question them. You will forget about everything that they did, or they are doing, or still that they did in the past. And George Weah is this impending danger that we just got to get rid of, because that's the first order operation. Get rid of George Weah. He's an impending danger. He talks about the country, and your only option is Joseph Boakai. If you cannot support Joseph Boakai, it means you don't love Liberia. Are you serious? Since when Joseph Boakai became the paragon of virtue for Liberia, since when he said the standard for Liberia, that if you don't support Joseph Boakai, then somehow you are anti-Liberia. Are you serious? In an election, are you telling me it's the only idea you can present that Joseph Boakai coming to? Because Joseph Boakai, look, whether it's politically, physically, Does Joseph Boaga look any
Because
place
they
going
have
to
nothing
rescue
to
the
sell.
country? But we
Anyway,
know we have few days to police it.
Steve, you coming by next Monday. Let me tell you, I don't care where your political leader will go. I don't care who they will support. But by next Monday, latest Tuesday, we will be in a campaign mode.
Oh no, for sure.
What?
We'll be in a campaign mode.
What, Mr. Kane?
Yeah.
You know, everything we said is just the truth of the matter. But the only thing that I don't understand is if you want Mr. Cummings to support you, in as much that you say he's insignificant,
Yes.
you've insulted his people, just agree to what he wrote.
Yeah.
What is that? Look, there is no. What up? You talking to Quado? You try to destroy his life, his political career, his wife. You insulted his wife. The man say, "I drop all of that."
Yeah.
So we are. What are you been corrupt for 6 years? What are you made part of corrupt for 12 years?
Yeah.
These are when you. These are my demand. What
What
is
if-
it?
we
What
call
is
it
it? People should be going
Steve.
in cycles.
We call it political sassy-woo.
So yesterday I told y'all on the show. Yesterday I told y'all on the show. If you think Mr. Cummings will just go through support, you're wasting your time.
Yeah.
I told you Mr. Cummings' decision will be strategic and it will be well driven. You are not dealing with an average person. Let me tell you something. Mr. Cummings has
They don't get
a
it.
very, very high IQ. That's not your typical Liberian you dealing with. He might not be the type that talking, that beat mouth, that boasting or whatever it is. But Mr. Cummings that beat ball. He can think 10 times before one of your things. I told you yesterday, Joria that coming picking. Boaga that coming picking. They came to visit the big brother. And not any problem. The big brother position a boys and say, you go, I will tell you exactly what I want. And then when the people came out today and say, listen, less than 24 hours. Why they were asking for 24 hours? Come and say, I don't get a problem. I
Yeah.
will 24 hours, I'll make it less than 12 hours. I will bring to you as a big brother what I want. What is it? Look, Mr. Kane, is that me? I will be happy and jumping on it. If I really mean well for you, there should not be something to argue. Because nothing you're saying, let's remove the president. Nothing you're saying, let's take position. All the Mr. Cummings is saying, let audit the legislature, which will even benefit the president. It will show all the legislature who been corrupt. Or who are
And don't forget too, you know the vice president is part of the legislative branch too. So his office will also be audited.
Listen now. Listen, more.
Now what I wanted to say.
I told you, Mr. Cummings, that not the average Liberian. Before your people then think one time, he not think 10 times. Let me tell you today, I will say again, and maybe I'll read it on my page. Mr. Cummings, that big ball. That not just a regular ball. I'm telling you today again. The thing simple. Mr. Cummings said, you don't order the legislature. That one. Mr. Cummings said, I don't get problem with nobody. And I say anybody committed crime. But can we bring one economic crime code? And I say anybody care anybody, not calling anybody rebel. Mr. Cummings said, we not marginalize women in here too much. Let's make 30% of the women to be part of our polity. That means anyway we do it, what are the ANCO, what are the CPPO, what are the Labour Day Party, what are the CDC, the ALPO, the total number of women participation might be 30%. What in buy inside again? What in here that somebody supposed to go pray about or to go sit and think about? If you really mean well. In fact, Mr. Cummings is helping you to run your government. The thing that he couldn't do, saying in second round to be president, he said, okay, let me bring it to the table to add it to the one I don't want to do. What is inside here, Mr. Kane? Why are we fighting? Why are we making noise? Why we can just accept the one thing and say, okay, then we accept everything here, Mr. Cummings. We agree here, Chief. Let's say the land will take over in 3 months, we'll do the one. And all these things, the good thing about it, they're doable though. They're doable.
You
Easy,
can do that
easy.
within a year and a half if you really
Exactly.
should.
You don't need international community. You don't need money. You see? I mean, what happened?
It doesn't take a rocket scientist to stop drug trafficking or to do a
let me say
reform. You can
this.
do it within a year, 12
Let me
months.
say this to y'all. I think, like Balu said, even though Balu probably didn't mean to say it that way, but he said it because it is the truth. Sometimes when you pray for something, God can bring it to you. When you not pray long time, God can bring it to you. To be honest, I think we have reached the point, and I'm glad to be alive. That at least we got somebody, or we got people that decided to man up finally to say, yeah, let's do what is right. The person now go behind closed door to say, let's just agree, because Kumi could have just agreed to anything and say, yeah, come endorse you the next day. So we had a president Kumi could have agreed and say, you know what happened? And you support me next time, right? Okay, fine. Saying you support me, solution will fall in line. Guess what happened? And easy face. Let me just tell my people, a couple of all kind of do endorsement. The rest of the people that are business, they could have done that. But Mr. Kumi said, let me be transparent and bring it to the Liberian people. Here are my demands, Liberian people. Any political party that decide that they want to wait, we move with them. So I'm saying, my people, for once in your life, if you don't like Mr. Cummings, if you don't like ANC, if you don't like CPP, you don't like Yasendi, you don't like me because me, and I tend to Cummings supporter now. And I told you I was about Cummings. I a supporter. I number one supporter. So when you're talking this time, you must call me Cummings supporter. Going forward. Call me Cummings supporter on the show. The way other people get a supporter on the other show. In fact, even bigger supporter of Cummings than Yasendi and Monk. I'm a big supporter of Cummings.
Oh,
we two of them down. That's support what we were doing in 2023 over. We don't get no what they call. We don't want bringing the real number now. So when we're talking, we know how we're talking. We're the real original supporters. So same with the supporters, we are saying to you, my people will make it easier for you. Yeah, CDC, you want our support? Agree to what we say.
I'm sorry, Steve. I'm sorry, Steve.
But oh my, be supporter, man. Do that thing.
This is so contradicting, though. No. I'm just saying. So Sekou can close that. This is bothering me. Nobody knows the man. He does not have number, but they're all running there. And we say good night to that.
And now we put a road down for the entire road and there. We get it rough. And we don't want that we now.
For 5D chess.
Kumi that big ball. What are you like? You don't like me. I can only big ball I support. I support big ball. Yeah. That big ball I don't support people.
But yeah, it's a contradiction for the rescue train. The rescue train is supposed to come and save Liberia from auto disaster, right? And everything Mr. Cummings wrote is within the interest of Liberia, not even for a political party. So I expected the rescue team to have signed the thing within the first 30 minutes. To validate that point that they come to rescue the country.
But they're angry about it instead.
I see someone that's supported. So that means you know what I mean? So the rescue people don't move on the other Jeremiah. They don't move on the other Dilla. They don't move on the other. So I don't understand why you be rescue.
The refusal for the rescue team to sign up on this particular laundry list, it just invalidated the argument that they're coming to rescue Liberia. That's a lie. It's the biggest myth ever that there is a rescue train coming to rescue Liberia. That's a lie, because their list alone is the real rescue train. That's why I will post on my wall tomorrow. Mr. Cummings' condition for endorsing Kennedy is the real rescue train for Liberia, because everything on that list, it only benefits Liberia and not a political party or an individual. It's all about reforming the entire country from an institutional point of view, from the constitution to auditing lawmakers to judicial reform to everything. It's all Liberia. It was only Liberia that benefit in this case. So this is the real rescue train. The other rescue train, that's a lie.
You know, let me say this. Some of the people, they will pretend as if to say they don't care about what we say. They will pretend as if to say our voice don't matter. But I can tell you, I read one of them comment to me, to SKTV the other day. I was telling Steve, The person came and said, "Dear my brother Sekou, I know you will not support that." The other person said, "I know you will not support Joseph Boakai openly, but we recognize that you have a powerful voice. Please don't use it against Joseph Boakai in the second round." That's what the person said to me. The arrogant ones, the one that are self-centered, the one that they think that they're better than the average Liberian, the one that feel so entitled, unfortunately for them, their voices don't resonate. Nobody cares about them. Nobody trusts them. Nobody believes in them. They have nothing to offer to Joseph Nima Boakai. Sedition, I must give it to them. When we started sedition, were some of the most arrogant people and disrespected people. But as time went by, what happened? They realized that CDC major problem has been media. CDC major problem has been lack of intelligent or resourceful PR machinery. They don't have that. CDC does not have the PR team. Eugene Fangon, that's why Eugene Fangon was there, and I said it very clear, Eugene Fangon is going to be fired. He's not going to end, he's not going to finish it because Eugene Fangon does not know how to do PR. He wouldn't praise himself. He praises himself, he talks about himself. He blew his own trumpet every day. He make it look like he is the best, he knows best, he knows better than everybody else. Everybody else are stupid, everybody else is stupid. I said, Eugene Fangon is not going to stay here. When he will go insult everybody who disagree with the CDC. That brought a lot of humiliation to the CDC in 2019 and 2020. But when they realized that, they say, you know what? In as much as we don't have an effective PR team, let's fire Eugene Fangon. Let's move this guy here. That guy is not resourceful. That guy is a liability on us. They fire him. Other than that, Eugene Fangon will stay there. When they elevated or when they switch position, we learn Eugene Nangbe. Why is it that they brought Lejewu running from different area where Eugene Fangon is supposed to be the principal deputy who should have actually be appointed to change, to take Eugene Nangbe's place because he was not effective. What I'm trying to say here is that CDC government problem has been communication with the Liberian people. They try to bash themselves, try to limit their communication only to their comfort zone. People then that pressing for them. That has been CDC problem. And the entire opposition went against them. But United Party people, not only that they are good with propaganda, but they are very good with lying. They are very good with deception. They are very good with bullying. But then the medicine for a bully is to bully them back. You got to stand up to a bully, even be more aggressive than them. Then they will respect you. They will stop the bullying. You follow it. When they started, when this bully started about the tribalism, when we took it to them, what happened? They stopped it. When they started with the gay thing, when we took it to them, what happened? They stopped it. When they brought the whole Congo and native thing, when we took it to them, what happened? They stopped it. When we exposed Joseph Boakai of being a tribalist and a religious fanatic who hate Muslim people, when we started to expose him, playing the video, and they stopped it and they behave. Same thing. When Prince Johnson started preaching tribalism in Nimba, when we started on him, when we brought his record, they begged us to let it go. They didn't want us to talk about it. What I'm trying to say here is that these bullies, Unity Party people, not all of them, the ones that think that bullying can win them support, thinking that bullying can make people to submit to them, to support them, you are a bunch of liability on Joseph Boakai. You are not helping him. You are hurting him. Up to this point, a lot of people are yet to decide who they're going to support in this election. Today, I spoke to a lot of people. I was told about some key people then that are contemplating on going to support Joseph Boakai as well as President Weah. Some of them are already made up their mind. Some of them have already made up their mind. But I can tell you, vast majority of Liberians who supported none of you are yet to make up their mind. And they listen to some of us and other people, the direction. If you continue to act like you already won the election or you already want to bully other people, watch and see. Watch and see. When people take out, you will see what's going to happen. That time, it was between 20 candidates. They only that your 2 candidates. It's easy to make the case for or against. I will stop there, my friends. You guys, whatever you can add this, we can close it.
I think just before we close, let me say something about the bullying thing. Some of us on the Cummings campaign now here. We're on the Cummings team. What are they like it and like it there now? So that thing where you be passing around, and I see your ANC, CPP, Liberty Party post sucking up to Unity Party, and you're playing cool. Oh, you know, for opposition, Unity are fully not working again.
Please say some, yeah, not your.
That thing
please say some, not your own man.
I agree. Thank you for the correction. Why is it see most of y'all? Oh, you know, and you don't criticize the man, and you don't criticize Joseph Boakai, old up man. Joseph Boakai, Joe Paul, Joker. You know, serious. I say it. And then new campaign, I'm going to take it now. Anybody who bully people and is I will bully your political leader. You can't do nothing at a good thing. I will go on different radio station there. Let me say it to you now. We inside where that fully never I see your passing way. Your team, anybody coming gay or any kind of free ride, your team you can be passing around. You're bringing on. As I've been telling you, me, I'm a son to the Cummings campaign. You become diplomatic, we'll be diplomatic. You bring that funny thing, we'll get inside too. Because myself too, I understand some things too. I understand something. I can be diplomatic, but I can also be the other way. So if you think you will pass around and do that thing what you used to do, that time over. Thank God said this.
Sago, why is up here from the rescue mother and the rescue uncle that were mad because of that meeting, that whole scenario was it confirmed?
That whole rescue uncle.
Actually, I did not confirm. Anyway, before I say something, my nephew Sam Kabar, I don't know where you have been, but welcome to SKTV at least for once. Maybe you like the late night show, eh?
Sam, be talking about
welcome. But you know, President, let me say this. The Unity Party people, whether it's the rescue mother, rescue uncle, rescue family, rescue godchildren, whatever they are not in good position right now. And the reason is very simple. Their objective was to humiliate, denigrate, minimize Mr. Cummings to the lowest of the lowest, was to make him politically insignificant, a political nobody, a political foy. We say foy. When you say foy, it means nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, foy. That's what they wanted to do. Well, you know, when you are straight, when you are God-fearing, when your heart is clean, that God can fight your battle. People that they say he was nobody, person that they say he was nobody, is the person that everybody running to right now. So those who
those
who are on the mission to achieve that goal, they will not be happy. That's why they got agitated to see people run into Mr. Cummings for support, for guardian. Imagine both Joe Weah and Boakai went there yesterday, but Honorable Lusoni Kamara, I like went there today. He not in the second round, but he saw value. He saw dignity. He saw virtue in this man. He saw integrity in this man. That's why he went to this guy. Say, let's talk. Let's compare note. Let's form some, some partnership. You are a good man. Like Ako or not, Ako is well-established institution. They might go slow. They might go slow, but they are well-established. For their leader to walk, to come to Mr. Commis, to have conversation, to share note, to compare note, to form some level of partnership, to say, hey, let's work together. Beyond this election, that means a lot. He's very smart. He served in the legislature before as a speaker. He served as Minister of Commerce. He served as Minister of Finance. He's a man of integrity. For Lusoni Kamara to come, despite the fact that he's not in the second round, he's not looking for coming to come and vote for me. But you go into the man, he saw something in the man. He knows very well that the man has support, that the man has support base, that the man is a political giant when it comes to Liberian politics. That he knows that, he understands that. All these beheaded chickens with peanut brain, they have no sense of direction. They will come to bully. They will say, oh, 1%, 10%. They know exactly. When you talk to them behind the scene, they say they know that the number that Comey got, that's not his number. That Comey was cheated. They know that. But because bullying is in their DNA, because they have nothing, their modus operandi, their MO is to bully people, thinking that people will submit to them. But the more you do that, you make your candidate unpopular. The more you do that, you drive people away from your candidate. The more you do that, some people will submit to you. People who are afraid, they don't want to be bullied on Facebook, they don't want to be attacked on Facebook, they don't want to be people who want to put their picture on Facebook, they are afraid that they are afraid. They will be afraid. But some of us, you will meet us right where you want it. If you anything you want to do, we'll do it. You create fake account to attack, or we can create fake account attack. You can even create more. You want to hack, or we can hack you too. We know more about computer more than some of you ignorant fools. You know nothing. Only to insult people and disrespect everybody. That's why all of you gravitate towards bullies and people who insult other people. That's why you will accept anybody in your camp. All the bad people, all the crazy people, all the mentally deranged people are found in your camp. The less of Eugene Fagon, Obe, sometimes Costa, all the stupid people there that can just come and insult everybody, that the people that you found in your camp. Look at the other guy who they fire from CDC. All of them, they were going over there. Look at the other guy that are going to jail. They will insult anybody, to say anything to anybody. All of them are found in that camp. But yet, instead of you coming to talk to people, to sell your candidate, but you want to be bullying people. Come in that 1%, come in that they 1 year, come in that, yeah, that all the stupid one they call Just Solo, that troubalist. That troubalist. Ignorant fool. That one will say anything. That one look at somebody and say, oh, look at you, your name is Kef Hassan. Because your name is Kef Hassan, you have no respect for women because you are allowed to marry 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15 wives. Insinuating that Muslim people got no respect for women. Fool like that. Just a bugger got those kind of people there in his camp. Lots of Prince Johnson, who said that the Mandingo people, the reason why people should not vote for Musa Bilete is because the Mandingo people sitting in Guinea waiting to come and take their forefathers and then from them. Prince Justin said that. Prince Justin are the one that making decision for Joseph Boakai. But again, I'm not campaigning. But I will campaign when I need to. I will. And we will expose in the next 2 weeks. We will talk everything. And all the video that we talk yesterday we have. We will show them. All the audio we say we have, we will play. All the dirty laundry will come outside. So some of the things you guys did, I don't know. I saw everything, all the lies, fabrications, attack, everything, the bullying, everything you all did. Me, I'm well cooked and seasoned. Kokoro Kaba, you call it Madungo. When we say Kokoro Kaba, Sunday, but you take Tajada, me right there. I care less about what you say about me. I care less about what you do. I care less. My motive is to make sure my message is out there. And we'll put a message out there. You better stop attacking people. You better start insulting people. You better stop bullying. Whatever happened in the first round is already behind us. All you need to do right now, talk to people. Ask for their support in a respectful manner, not in arrogance and disrespect. Or thinking that you can bully people, then they will support you based on that. You will see. You will see.
We'll see.
Yeah, but President, you have anything to say, then we can close for the night.
Man, I don't have anything else to say. We into round number 2. We will make the best decision possible, like always. For us, it's Liberia first. So when you think the country first, to make the decision become easier.
So
the
the
decision
man people say.
Go ahead, you'll say something.
Because you see that because I said my money want to say Mano now. Say
The man people say.
She's jealous.
The man people say, "Cola again."
Wow.
We will see.
We will see.
Where the thing is, Sekou, we have more time to talk. Like you said, Monday will be a good day. It's been a good night. I think it was a beautiful show. By the time you wake up, many people will come and watch it. You know, people are telling you, you already made it. Oh, you already made up your mind. No, we have not made up our mind. That's why we're here. But we know that both parties are bad at this point for Liberia. But that's what we have to deal with. We see your attitude. And I will call some names who have been trying to bully themselves in the coming days. Tomorrow morning, I will be live again for 10 minutes, coming to deal with them. So you'll be ready and follow me. Y'all good night. Thank you, Sekou. It was good being here. You forced 2 hours out of me. I'm going to bed.
Thank you,
Bye.
Stephen. My man, whatever you guys want to do, let me know.
Let me close this up really quick by saying thank you so much, folks. Thank you for always following and supporting SKTV. We'll be on. We told you we're not going anywhere. And we're here. We kept our words. As Sekou said, starting next week, the show Umba, you don't want to miss it.
Yeah.
I think where can be doing your
No.
Starting next week, the show Umba will be hard. Yeah, the show Umba ain't hard. The show will be hard. And in fact, you know what? So some conversation then we'll keep it because we don't want to throw everything and then we don't want to start the show again. But we are here to stay. We're not going nowhere. And the good thing about it, you can do nothing. You can't thank you.
President Mama, man, good now.
All right, man. Take care, guys. We'll meet again.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody. We say thank you to all of you guys for following. Again, we are here. And we are here to stay. We will campaign if we need to campaign. We will campaign when we need to campaign. We will. We will tell the people the truth. And nothing but the truth. Trust me. A good night.
Amanda, Maipuye, Iliberia, Marie, Jovia, Deble.
Trigger.
Aha, y'all move on the road, the punch giant ready to take over.
Like it.
Y'all move on the road, beat Papa come here again. Y'all move on the road, Papa Georgie come here again. Y'all move on the road, Mama Joe come here again. Move on the road, see Tisha come here again. Now the whole country giant coming soon. Better move on the road. I say you better move your road. You be about to get away. Pulling back to get away. We come here again. Move on the road, see come here again. Yeah, move on the road, Joe, we are coming again. Move on the road, Mama Joe, we come here again. Up in the road, see come here again. Now the whole country giant coming so. Better move on the road. Say you better move your road. Take it away. Better get away. We come here again. We force to win the scheme. We come here again. Coalition for democratic change. Now the whole country champion they coming so. You better move on the road. I say you better move your foot. You big Paris and get away. Better get away. Yen say I'm on go, I say I come. I double, Mosigo corridor. Yen say I'm on go, I say I come. See Tisha shake your body, Tisha shake your body, Why don't you shake your body, Tisha shake your body, Acha le oh, see your le oh, Acha le oh. Le oh say, le oh say, we'll celebrate. I wear Mosigo corridor. Today is I wanna go there. We'll celebrate. We'll celebrate. It's a beautiful day. We'll celebrate. We'll celebrate. Déjà bientôt ready. We'll celebrate. It's a bonne day, your moment. We'll celebrate. You be brothers in your way, yeah. We'll celebrate. Nothing you can tell us now. We'll celebrate. Nothing you get to tell us now. We'll celebrate. We are inside the bridge. Mama, you are inside the bridge. Nobody ain't worried.
Brothers International, y'all.
We feeling win a race. We feeling win a race. Everybody look at this. Feeling win a race.
Y'all moving on the road because we coming in with four. Kakabella, Jella, Wapi. We coming there, y'all to beat it. Big politicians, we putting y'all on the ground. CDC, feeling take it. We party, y'all can see it. John Money, we are. Este, Joe, Howard Taylor. Echo Brothers, huh? We the one that country giant. Y'all know we the lion. We all lion straight for giant. To save the people then from the hands of the wicked one. Dakim and Fua, so they stand, they gotta get away. But we are Popo. That's sleeping for this supposed to Popo. Este, Joe, Popo. I'm picking like that's supposed to Popo. They call all heavyweight. That we the champion team. Peace where we remain. International we do be. Sing with me, say Acha le oh. See oh le oh. Acha le oh. See oh le oh. Power to the people. Only for the men and do evil. They say the people why I'm putting them in the spot. They get up picking up. See rapping can rap the king. Gotta get away. And if the party in your space. Like Caraco with plugging. CDC now take it. DC, CDC, we the champion team. Boom,
New Jersey, ruling party, you're in trouble. Come on, y'all move on the road. CDC coming in with four. We're not taking the straight for Joe. We're battle out to the chicken crow. AFP say I win the team, but who about more than win the team? Now we the champion team, so for to win the game. AFP say I turn giant, but win a lion from Zion. Now we the whole country giant, we eat again and we eating Kayan. So if y'all walk, you be people, y'all be making buck. And I see we not some sir. If y'all ain't more the road.